Welcome to part one of our 2.4 morning series. Sorry for the slight delay. We had some capture-related technical issues, but everything should work now as expected. Cool. Yeah, let's just dive in. So, fans. Um, I was using the machine quite a bit, and everything works well for the most part. But it's relatively noisy, and not necessarily the motion, or like at least the XY motion is relatively silent. It's more about the Z motion and specifically the fans. And for fans, even more specifically, the cooling fans on the side. Um, so the plan is basically, I still have these. These are like high quality fans, I would definitely say. These are noise blocker black silent snow fans, like from my water cooling system of my old PC. So pretty silent, they have very high static pressure, perfect for what we need here. And the idea is to place them basically here. If you like flip that over, basically we are directly blowing air onto the mainboard. The solid state relay is somewhere here. Hi there. And the PCU is here. So basically the plan is like all the air being pushed in here will directly cool the steppers. And then also like the air will like spread towards all directions. Will spread towards all directions inside the electronics bay and will cool everything that we need to cool. The second small project then are the Toolhead fans. So at the moment we use the stock fans from the Formbot kit. Let me quickly make the kitty happy with some belts. Those are kind of okay from like a noise performance or like from a noise level perspective. But the problem is that the part cooling fan is not really strong. So it's a relatively cheap fan. So I want to replace it with this honey badger fan here. This is, as far as I know, like one of the strongest fans you can buy. It's a 9,200 RPM. Has a 4-pin header, which we will not use, but technically good. So I think what we will use here is the ideal setup is basically, let me quickly talk about the second fan. This is a Sunon Maglev 12-volt fan. I hope it's not too noisy. And that is a 3-pin fan. So you see 3 wires. We have the black, red, yellow. And yellow is the speed signal. The big benefit of that is if the fan dies, Clipper can react to it because it sees that the speed goes down, which is just a very nice safety feature because like technically if this fan fails, the hot end will just keep heating, which means the heat break will initially or like eventually start also getting hot. Everything on the toolhead melts and it's not really like fun experience. Mr. DSI, hi there. Has fun stories to tell. So this is also like from his recommendation. We have a 3-pin fan. So my idea is to have, because we only have one 4-pin header on the toolhead, is to combine the speed signal from this fan with the PWM signal of this fan. So we kind of like put them together. And he's very attracted to anything that has to do with cables. I fear this would happen, but I have some special tricks up my sleeve this week to maybe keep him busy for a second. Okay, yeah, I would say let's just dive in with the controller fans, and then let's do Toolhead fans as a second step. Just park them here on the side, and I'm not sure if I should already. So I have his favorite toy, which he haven't seen or hasn't seen for like a couple of days. So my plan was to like distract him with that at some point in the stream, and then he will be gone for like an hour, just being happy with his toy. 100% recommend, yeah. And he starts doing naughty stuff already. Okay, cool. Loki, let's hope my plan works. Okay, cool. Then Let's jump in with the fans. Magic of preparation. I already cut a hole here in the bottom panel. I just used a jigsaw that was relatively straightforward. So I just drilled a hole and cut it out. So I just have like painter's tape on the back. Drew the shape from this little cover I have here. So that just goes here. So all the nasty cut parts, because I'm really bad with saws in general, are gone. This one was just my cutting jig. And then basically the fans will just go like this is basically the outside you're looking at. So the fans will just go on the underside. And I think it would be good for a step test to mount these. I had a little bit of a oopsie where my goal was to place the fans like as much back and as much in the corner as possible. Because at some point in the future, I want to have 48-volt power supply here at the end, and that's relatively tall. So the fans need to go out of the way, that we have space here for the power supply. But the problem then was that this clip here was too big to fit in its original position. So there's a little bit of overlap here. That's a problem for later, I would say. My idea was just to cut off the corner here and like put it on. Cool. Yeah. So I really like the idea from the 2.4 manual to use heatsink inserts on the fans. He's happy with his spring. I hope this keeps him busy for a second. So let's just start with the heatsink inserts, I would say. Hey there, Steve. Thank you for another super chat. Oh, by the way, the levels are gone, right? Like last week we had these like weird like levels or something. That doesn't seem to be in the chat anymore. Maybe YouTube changed something again because I didn't see any settings for that. We also would need heatset inserts. That would make a lot of sense to get. Yeah. So just to get that correct. So we want to push air inward, so we have to have it on this side. Oh, they're still there. Yeah, now it's showing up. You're number one. It seems to work well. I think it needs a bit more temperature than standard ABS. Let me just try 320. Just before the stream, he wanted to climb on, like I have a screen here directly like where the camera is. He wanted to climb on that and he was like standing on top of my MacBook screen, and the entire MacBook was like tilting backward and like was held by the screen from falling off the table. Luckily nothing happened, but yeah. He's like crazy into climbing. Which, I mean, it's not fun and all, but like sometimes he's climbing on stuff that is not really meant for climbing. I think that is it. Like they're not super flush, but should be good enough. And then my idea is just to use like M3x8 and bolt it together. Hi, Interui IO. Why is every 3D printer enthusiast using thread insert for fans? I don't know. Like, so this one, I just saw in the 2.4 manual. That's how they mount the standard fans. I think it's like quite a neat like setup, to be honest. I mean, technically, you can also have like a longer screw and then like have like a washer and a nut on the other side. I mean, also that works. But things like we use the the heat inserts anyways, and you have them and you have all the tools, so why not make use of it? So mounting wise, I think it's smart to put these two together. We need to whip up a cable for that. I did not have those headers anymore. Like these are the PC fan headers. But it's the same pitch as the normal DuPont connectors. So my plan was to just wing it and use these. So quickly. So yeah, I just like taped it and like copied the outlines from the part onto here. And then I just went at it with the jigsaw. And if I would have been smart, I would have removed the painter's tape right away, because I think now we have a bit of like residue. Because this has been on here for like, I think a week almost. I cut it like last weekend. And I learned the hard way that painter's tape gets quite nasty. Like longer you have it on and like it starts drying, it's like it starts quite nasty. Starts getting quite nasty to remove. When I moved here, like I wanted to protect my floor, like while the rest of the construction was still going on, with like the walls being painted, stitched and salt and everything. And then I used these. I actually know the English term for that. It's like thick protective. It's like a roll of like thick paper basically with a plastic coating. Um, and I used painter's tape to put it on the floor to like kind of like hold down the edges. And after like a couple of weeks, when everything was done, I wanted to remove it. I pulled the painter's tape, and like it pulled off like the top layer of the floor in some parts. So now I have like very nice painter's tape shaped stripes in some parts of my apartment, which is nice. It's a style. Usually use self-tapping screws for them. Yes, I'm not sure if this would work well with self-tapping ones actually. I know the fans you refer to, but I think usually for these, like I mean, even for these fans, they give you M4 screws, like M4, and then like you're expected to have like something on the other side to screw into. Let's see, so then, and we have two options here for the orientation. We either do it like this, or we do it like this and have the cable here. I think like it would be good if the cable, because we also have to think of when we remove this, for the first iteration we have to unplug the cable. So I think it's good if for the first iteration we just do it like this, that the cable's here in the center, because the plug is somewhere. Oh, actually, we'll do it like this then, because it plugs in on the bottom. Let's do it like this. It will be a bit fun until the first couple screws are in. And also, I don't have self-tapping screws in this size. But I think I might have some like in some random collection of like old PC parts, but I think this looks nicer. Okay. So that should kind of like locate this one fan. Let's see if we can get the other one in place. Can you hold the sound for a second? That would be great. Thank you. This one is. I checked that this worked before. Yeah. Not tightening it down fully yet. My plan with the spring toy did not work out. He already lost interest. Let me actually quickly get him. He's on the kitchen counter. 1 second, sorry. I'm still trying to teach him to not go on the kitchen counter. And I think this is a battle I will lose. So that's a bit tricky to get in. I think the thread inserts I just put in are not 100% straight in some spots. Although now it's kind of okay. Okay. The camera's out of focus. Oh yeah, it's focusing on classic. Now it should be in focus. Sorry for that. No, no. Don't eat shit. I think he's a bit bored today. Okay, so we have 2 plugs here. And that makes quite a good impression. So the fans can spin, that's nice. Looks pretty. Then I would say let's just whip up a cable here. So my idea was just to use like center to pond for the 4-pin. And then we just make a quick cable. It doesn't have to be like super long, I think. If we make it I mean, if it's longer, it's easier to get it to take off the panel because you have a bit more like range of motion before the cable like gets tight. So maybe it's good to leave it a little bit longer. Let me see. Uh, we need one connectors, which of course is on the bottom. And we need cables. I think I would use this one. This is like silicone cable. It's like four wires, exactly what we need. And it's like nice in one unit, basically. And I think, let's see how we do that. So we need two connectors here. I think maybe it's best to just make like a Y connector or like, let me see. Not spend too much time thinking about the exact setup here. So you kind of need to do that on the spot. Now, let's see, I don't have the font headers here. That's a different box. Let's see. Let's try this one. So I'll just use these, and that should, yeah. So these just like go in nicely. That's one. Might be easier just to do it here. Nope, that did not work out. So three now. Here we have four. And on the other side, we can use a standard DuPont that we can crimp. So I have a four. I hope I have a four. This one says four. Okay, and I will do the crimping later. Oh, good. Let's just park this here for now. Oh, that was not my plan. Let's move this bad boy over here. Now we have a bit more space. So basically these go in a Y. And I think what I would do is let's just connect sort of one wire directly to this one, like the long one that goes to the board. And let's do like a short bridge basically from one to the other. Let's just guesstimate. What do you think, Loki? Is this enough? Yeah, that's good. That I need. Um, that I also need. Can you please leave that? And don't eat it. You're not very helpful, you know that, right? Doop. That's really one thing you need to play with now, right? Do you want this cable? See, this one is red. This is amazing. Problem solved. Okay, so let's just quickly solve that. Order doesn't matter really, but there's one cable that has like a marking. I would like to have that on black, but like it's reversible anyways. It's something we need to pay a bit of attention in the future when we practice it out that it's the right orientation. Only downside of using the DuPont connectors over like the proper ones. Let's put it a little bit up again. I can also bring you. Oh, it's manual. Oh, it's not manual focus. A little bit closer. Problem solved for now. Yeah, this is let's just say the last 4 weeks since I have him, like my productivity 3 weeks did not improve. The problem is like usually like this is not a time when we play. So I think he's like just used to getting attention to his time. Now he's eating, which is great. That means it's like play, eat, sleep, and then he's gone for a second. In general, I can't complain. Like he's amazing. Let's start with this one. Something I tend to do is like when I solder this or when I solve something, I tend to tack on it. And it's always very dangerous with these connectors because when you solder, the plastic gets warm, of course, like of the housing here. If you then tuck on it, you rip the pin out. I did it more than once. Okay. I didn't use any sleeving or like heat shrink here now because we still have to connect the other one. And then I think later, I don't have it here now, but I think the best idea would just be to cover this completely with super glue. Yeah, it's not make it too short, something like this. Should be like a nice loop. Second one I have here. Did not hold long. That's not good. That almost touches here. This cable needs a little bit more tin, like the strains are still loose. Okay. What's up with your spring? You didn't play with your spring long. Not in the spring mood today? No? Okay. He likes to play with filament sometimes. Let's see. Let me do this like this. And just to check, like, we have the mark cable here on this side. Now, the interesting part will be, can I solder that together without losing the first cable? It would have been smarter to, like, twist these cables together before soldering. Seems to work. That seems to be good. So yeah, I'll just cover this with super glue later on. I think for now what we can do, it should be here. We can at least add a tiny bit of heat shrink over the entire thing. Just not here anymore, though. Should have done that before. Well, no heat shrink. No hot glue. But I don't have my hot glue gun right now. I gave it to a neighbor. So I have to like hot glue that later on. Let's see if I can heat shrink. No! Yeah, it was obvious that I would bend the pins like this. Ah, shit. Aye, that was stupid. And we do this one again. But then let's do the following. Let's do this a bit smarter. If I don't have the heat shrink, the hot glue, let's do the following. Get all these cables loose again, please. Also obvious that I would bend the pin from this side. Let's do the following then. So my idea was like, usually I would prefer having hot glue on here, just like to also like stabilize the solder connections a little bit. But then let's do the following. I have very small heat shrink, I think. I hope I have. Yes, I do. That should work. Let's just put a little bit of heat shrink over each individual pin. But yeah, ideally I would like to use hot glue. Potentially I also use just hot glue later on and just like put it on top. Also here I see, that was not a good connection. Let me quickly redo this one. It's a bit more. I'm not very happy that he's sitting here. Soldering is not a cat activity. And he will be back in 30 seconds. I think it was quite a good estimate. Let's do it like this, and then potentially I just like smear hot glue over the heat shrink. Okay, so then let's do the other one again. It's like very annoying. Like the 2.4 is like 2 centimeters too tall that I can open this cabinet. Okay. For those, let's do the following. Let's use the same heat shrink I already put back. And put always 1 over 2 cables. And just let me quickly check which one. So these two need to go together. That just fits, so we need to be very careful with soldering that we don't shrink the heat shrink. So then you go with these two go together. No, you found a spot to sleep. Then this cable and this cable. Just remove the feet. It's not enough. Even with the feet, it's just too tall. It's like, you know, like one of these like random decisions. Like when I put up the cabinet, I obviously was not planning like, oh yeah, if I get a 2.4, I should at least have this much clearance. It was just like, yeah, looks good. I just put it up. And if I would have made the random decision to put it up like 2 centimeters higher, no problem. Yeah, it's also not worth it to like rehang it, as Steve suggested at some point, because usually it's on down here, and it's like this much lower, and that's like not a problem. But what I then realized just this week is that kind of like limits my tool changer option. So if you want to make this a tool changer, the stealth change is a little bit out of the question, because for this one you need like more Z, and I can't really offer that. So we might end up going with the mist changer. Okay, let me just solder one cable each first. I think I almost melted that one. Quite difficult to keep track of the cables here. Let's see if this works. Otherwise, we have to twist the cable together first. This might have worked. Let's see if we can get the heat shrink over them. It almost works. The first two are fine, but the last two have a little bit of an issue. Let me see if I can maneuver that on there with a bit of like wiggling. It's really just this one. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this a little bit more together here. So I just put the other ones in position. Let me quickly melt that. Oh, maybe I should have been a bit more careful with the one that is not in position yet. Okay. Let's see. Try to stretch it a little bit. Like there's just like the solder point is a bit thicker there, and that's why it's not going sliding all the way up. But honestly, it's good enough. That's good enough. Cool. That is our cable, almost. Let's quickly test. So we need to be careful with the black one. This needs to be then here. And this one goes in like this. So I will still super glue the connector basically here together. That's still something I will do. Okay, then the other side. That's relatively straightforward. Because there we just use like a standard DuPont. Not enough wire for the Vagos. Yeah, I mean it would have been an option, but like they're like really short. I mean you can buy these cables, right? It's not a thing. Like you can also, to be honest, I think these are just DuPont crimps inside. But I was not in the mood of buying like a crimp set just for like these wires. Technically, you can also buy this wire. I'm fairly certain you can buy that. Just out of the box, exactly what we built here. Quickly figure out what crimp setting I need to use here. I think the middle one here is a bit too loose. Let's try this smallest one. That looks good. Okay, so we need to use this smallest crimp setting on my pliers. It's obviously not like a proper DuPont crimping plier. While it works, it's not perfect. And also important to remember, these are 12-volt fans, so we need to change the voltage on the main board. That's the wrong one. Okay. No specific order we can put them in here. And I hope the DuPont fits on the thing, and I actually didn't try it. Same pitch. Not sure if you are in. No, you're not. Oh, I put you in the wrong way. For this one, oh yeah, this one is not properly cramped. I just want to say, like, this looks not. Let's try to rescue this. Think, oh yeah, I used the wrong crimp setting there. Should fit. Yeah, I also vaguely remember that I tried that, or that I used it in the past. I just need to be careful if when I plug this in to not like mix up the polarity. That most likely would not be like beneficial. See if we can get the last one in here. It's basically because these are not like proper DuPont pliers, like the collar like around the cap is a little bit too wide, so it's always a bit tricky to push in. Especially with these silicone wires where like you can't really like push because like the cable is just so like soft. Looks good. This is not super secure here, so this slides out. So that's also why I will just like super glue this. Yeah, see here. Super glue this. Let me quickly check so I didn't rotate it now. Yeah, so the black one is on this side, so this is correct. Just to prevent this from sliding out, I'll just add a little bit of like electrical tape around it. It's by the way also like an amazing cat decision, you know, like now he's sleeping between the tools and all the stuff, and like just there is like a super fluffy, soft cat bed. It's like cat logic. Let's see, one. Let me first remove the soldering stuff so we have a bit more space. Can you? Thank you. Just park these here for now. Do we need to solder? Yeah, we need to later solder again for the toolhead fans for sure. So I will just put this together and put it here. Get rid of all the little like cable. You go here, you go there, and then we have space. Cool. So, so I'm literally just like putting a bit of tape around it like this, just like that doesn't slide out. Super easy. Let me actually add a little bit more. Um, And like when I get my hot glue back, I will just like remove the electrical tape and drench it in hot glue. But until then, this is good enough. Not a moving part, so should be fine. Cool. Then let's flip it over, I would say. Quickly park this here. Oh, well, now it's too late. There's all the dirt from the nozzle brush. Oh, including the bucket. Nice. Well, I will clean this up later. Oh, by the way, now I see this cube. I need your opinion on this stuff. So this is filament, obviously. This is called candy smoke gray. It looks pretty black. I do have a black one somewhere as well. So basically it's translucent a little bit. Not sure if you can make this up on camera. Yeah, I see here like my finger through the bottom. So I have like upcoming printer project, and I wonder if I should use this one as my base color. So instead of black, use this like half translucent material. Not quite sure yet. It looks like almost black if you look at it. Like it's not super black. Like if you compare it to like real black, this one is clearly blacker. But then like if really like if light shines through, it starts to like look interesting because like not 100% like opaque. Okay, I'm gonna put the panel back on for now. I just realized something. Did you saw the all for? Yes, I did, and yes, I see what you mean. Yes, it will will not work. Thank you. I did not think of that. We should have not wired the soldered the fourth wire. Let's quickly fix this. He's now sleeping. I will not disturb Loki. But when he wakes up, we can compare it. But I think he's a little bit like lighter gray. I still didn't order the extrusions, by the way. I'm still on the fence whether we should do whether we should do silver or black extrusions. Let's see. So technically, that's also like still quite easy to pull. So let's just remove this one here. So I can just remove the. Let's just cut it. I kind of want to keep the pin as an indication. Well, and that. Let me double check the connection here then. Do a quick tuck test on each. It's nice that it came out now, but okay. Well, lucky me. Okay, let's also make sure this doesn't fall off. Electrical tape is definitely not as good as super glue for this application here. I really don't like using electrical tape. It's like always, eh. I'm lucky thinking now just using super glue, to be honest. Super glue is always messy. Yeah, technically this should. This should hold like this. And let's do also the following. So in case I yank the cable that I don't yank on the connector, let's just add a little bit of one tape spot here. It's like a quote-unquote strain relief. It's the third wire for tachometer. Is it the third? Oh god. Let's quickly check. I think you're right. You're right again. At which point I know I screwed up the cable hole completely. Uh, yep. Oh god. Okay, this is also not like. So that means we need to resolder this one cable here. Yes, this looks not great. I'm sorry. This is not my best work. I'm honestly not quite sure what to do to make it a lot better. And if you want to, we can also add cable sleeving. That I honestly didn't plan on spending this much time on this cable. Okay. The only problem is we also quickly have to remove this other one here. Okay, so just to double check, so basically we need to connect the third wire, remove the third wire, connect the fourth. Um, so let me snip this one here already. Just remove it. Fine. And then we quickly remove this one here. Oh, sometimes it also helps to turn on the soldering iron. But I take Steve's feedback to heart. Let's see if we can. Yeah, see, that just works. So we can add cable sleeving. Oh, we can add cable sleeving. It just fits over the DuPont connector, so this should be like straightforward to add. Let's do that in a second. That looks a bit nicer. Okay. Then, oh, I dropped one of the heat shrinks here, which is very fortunate now. Hmm. It's not soldered on, but not in a good way. It's also like still a bit of the old cable on there. Okay. That is the first one. Yeah, it's just long enough for one. Let me quickly see if I have more of this. I think that's the same, not as a bigger one. This one is the same. Not a bit too long. Okay. And this needs to go over both cables. I solder one cable and the other one desolders. There's also like a little bit of a thing standing up. Okay, let's try this again. Let me add a little of like fresh tin. Let's also make sure that this time this is properly soldered. Looks good. Yes, it also fits. Perfect. Okay. There we have it. Okay, then by the request of Steve, let's add some sleeving on top here. Okay, let's back this off a tiny bit. Just cut that. And melt the ends a bit so that like they stay together. Still tiny bit too long. Cut off a bit. Oh no. The dragon woke. We cut this over the trash. We don't have like a million. Okay. Then use this one. Oh, sorry, I was a bit off camera there. Question is if we... now it's too late. Let's not sleeve this, but I will add a little bit of heat shrink over there. Steve, does that now look up to my standard? Nope, careful with this one looking. It's off, but still a little hot most likely. What do you say? Is this a good cable? I totally wait for him to start knocking stuff off tables, just like because he can. Come here. You need a bit of attention. There you go. So, yeah, we still see which cable is which because we only have 3. So this one is this way. I'm now wondering, maybe we can also just use heat shrink over here. It would be actually not the most, like just like a larger heat shrink. I'm not quite sure if this actually grabs it on. I have to use electrical tape. Which I don't know where I put it, but we have a new roll. As always, he's very helpful. He's trying, he checks whether the cable is easy to remove or not. And clearly it is. Yeah, it's quality testing, I tell you. Also checks like, you know, like if the cable is easy to puncture. But I'm a bit disappointed. Like, I expected all my 3D prints to be like carbon fiber. It's like cat hair fiber, but he's not losing a lot of hair yet. Okay. With minor resets, we made it, I think. Yeah. Quality test passed. I should have done this one first. I have to do this one first. It's like really annoying because the cable is like so short here. It's really hard to because like it's this one slips out easy. Which makes me wonder, let's actually do it just the other way around. Let's do this one. I hope this makes good contact. And yeah, this way around. Because then this one is a bit easier. At least later on it's not super hidden, so if this cable has a problem with the connection or something, like it's easy to reach. Yeah, it's definitely not the best connector. But this should be good. And hope now, Steve, you're happy with the cable. So, oh, let's move this over here. Unplug the camera. Check. I need to get a longer cable there. It's like a bit too short when I want to move the camera all the way up, which I need to do for 2.4. Okay. So just like a fit test, I mean, I did that before, so I kind of know it fits, but oh, there's like an extra screw. These magnets don't snap into place. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, it fits. Um, and I'm not sure if you can see that through the fans here, but like the steppers are right here. So the fan directly blows onto the steppers. And then there's so much air. Like, I mean, if you compare these like tiny little cooling fans on the side with these like big 120mm ones, like these push so much air. One thing I was actually considering, and I didn't get it in time, or like I didn't order it yet, but it's like I want to have a mesh here that like when the air intake, like when the air is taken in, that the dust is kind of filtered out. So, but it's something you can just add, but I removed this panel here, add the mesh, put it back, and then like this is just like covered. PG7 strain relief is actually not the worst idea. Strain relief is not really the problem, it's just like the cable is too short. I do kind of have a strain relief. Sure, we can show that. It's a bit small now here on the side. So I have this HDMI connector here that goes into the HDMI port of the camera because this is micro HDMI. It's like super iffy. They break super easily, and mine is already a bit weird. That's why I bought this like little adapter here that's screwed into the camera mount. And then the cable is tagged here. Like this is just a 2020 extrusion. The same clips as on a switch wire, and the same goes for the camera. On the other side, it's just hanging. It's just a bit short for how high up I can put the camera now with the quote-unquote new camera system I have. I mean, this is a 2040 extrusion that goes from the table. I just have like quick release clamps here on the table. And on the ceiling, I drilled one hole and have like little like square basically where the extrusion just puts in. And it makes this like quite stable. Like I'm really like trying to move it right now. And you see the camera doesn't move at all, which is pretty sweet. Compared to what we had before, this is really good. Okay, yeah, and this one is missing here on the back. But to be honest, I don't think this is like a big deal. Like, I mean, it still holds on pretty darn well. I'll fix it in time. Cool. Then one of these is where we need to plug this in. Good news, it fits. Bad news, I don't know which orientation. Um, because now we covered everything. And we also sleeved the cable, which looks pretty, but we need to quickly figure out which orientation is ground. And then we can put this in here. And that's it. Yeah, let's figure out which one is ground. We should also mark that somehow. Because when I remove the panel, I have to unplug that. Oh, he sees cables. He's fascinated by cables. Okay, so we just, I think it's this one here. Nope. Okay, so this one is the PWM, and this one is ground. Let's also just do like a quick connectivity check while we're at it. 24 is fine, and the top is also fine. Cool, perfect. So that works. So there's a little like arrow here on the connector. That's the blue one. Let me see how I can. Yeah, I should replace this connector here. This should definitely be better because I'm the first person to plug this in the wrong way. So I just mark it here now. I mean, it's also easy to figure out which one is ground, which one is not, but yes, the 12-volt jumper sleeve, that's also something we still need to do. I think I just said 24-volt now accidentally, but that's obviously not correct. What did you try to do? Okay, he tried something crazy. I have no clue what in his brain said like this would work, but it did not work. Cool. Yeah, then now that we know which one is ground on the connector, the next question is which one is ground here? We need to quickly look in the manual because I don't see a marking on the board. B3M8P V2 pinout. And this one looks like something I want to know. So we have 3 of these headers here, and we need ground is on the outside, like outside this way, facing the CV1. And then we also need this jumper. And smart as I am, I did not get a jumper. So we need to quickly grab one. So, I still have the goodie bag. Oh, which actually makes me wonder. Huh? They give us the right correct connector. Guys, then I'm sorry to like spend even more time on this cable, but then I want to recrimp this to the correct connector. But I think it's just DuPont connector, so we don't even have to recrimp it. I don't think we even have to recrimp it. It's really just... So before I forget it, let's get the jumper. So we have the connector here. Jumper, jumper, jumper. No, these are all connector. It didn't even cross my mind if they maybe pack a couple like in this bag here. Yeah. He's still happy with his red cable. That didn't even cross my mind. And that's like a normal jumper, not the small one. Here we have a bag full of jumpers. And 3 big tree tech duckies. Okay, let's take a look-see at that cable again. We do have to cut the heat shrink. And this will just be like a destructive operation here. If I Okay, this one is a bit weird. The Okay, that needs one recrimp. And this one is a bit, the nose kind of like bent down. What do you do? This connector I need, please. The nose here is kind of like bent inward. Not sure how to get this out. Let me see if I... Yeah. So we have to recrimp 2. Which is easy enough. No, 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 no. Can you please not eat my... Why would you eat... Oh god. He tried to eat the header. The jumper. Okay. So you need to be careful. Which now makes me a little bit uneasy with him crawling around in the parts back there. Can you just sleep for like another hour or so? It would be great. Nope. Okay, I have one more joker. Oh, no, I need to. 1 second. Hold this ball far. Okay, are you ready for your ball? Go. Get it. Okay, this should give us a couple of minutes. Yes, it worked. That worked very well. I did drop the other crypto. Look away that one. He's still chasing the ball. Okay. Yeah, then now we need to know which one is which. So this one is ground. The connector here. Let me just quickly check the pinout. So this goes on like this. Ground is the rightmost now. No, it's a different connector. Ah, shit. Okay. Then the question becomes, which one of the ones we have here is the one? Because I can't imagine that they give you the housing, but not the crimp. Can't be it. That would be very cruel if they like give you the housing. But these are JST. The other ones here are also JST. But I don't see any other. That's stupid. So they give you the housing? Are you already back? That's not good. It's a very different one. I think I vaguely remember how they look, but well, then we have to go back to the pond. No, you eat those stuff. You are not allowed here until we're done. So let's just put it back in a normal DuPont. Well, was worth the try, I would say. How do you get the jumper down there? This cat today is crazy. This one is the second one. I remember the crimps for the fan, they had this like spiral loop. Making sure I don't mix the cables up here now. Like they had a little bit of a loop, like a spring that would push the female pin against the male one. And I'm also like now thinking I might actually have some in my PC box. Hmm. This one, and I need to put a squeeze here on top. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, that was quite a detour for nothing. One of these things, like I would never think that like this cable takes so long to like put together. I kind of fear that I run out of this heat shrink. I don't think we used this big one here. Maybe we did. Let's see. Before we heat shrink this up, this side is the ground side. Now something, I see the CRJ female for the fan plug on Google. Yeah. Yeah, it has this like little like coil, right? No. Really close. I'm almost certain I still have some. I will check like tomorrow. Because like for my old gaming PC, I did all cables by hand. Like I started with like bare wire and then like I crimped all the connectors. And I know I also crimped custom fan cables. So I must have. I'm pretty sure I still have some. Okay. Yeah, I think this one was a smaller heat shrink. It doesn't quite shrink down. It should be fine. Okay, let me get all these connectors out of the way before somebody eats them. And I think for my little like tool bag in the back, for next time I will sort out all small things he might eat. Because this is an experience I don't need. Go get your cable off. Cool. Okay. Then jumper. And 12 volt is the center. And the cut side is ground. These ones, these fans here on the side, they will move to a different project. So I don't have the counterpart right now to remove them, but I do want to unplug them. So let's quickly get the cables out. So this, I assume it's this one, and yeah, it's the center two here. Let me, yep. I'll just get them out here for a second. And I put them back in the cable channel, but I just like collect them here on the side, and then like I will print the backing piece here for the fan, that I can remove the fans and keep the outer thing. Cool. And then the cable just like neatly folds over here. And the fans can spin freely. There's literally like 2 millimeters between the bottom of the fan and the heatsink of the stepper. But yeah, these steppers will be really cool. Cool. Shall we turn it on and give it a spin? I would say yes. By the way, also the filter here I most likely remove because the fan is planned for something else. I don't think we will have any magic smoke, but oh, they start spinning already. Nice. And they're quite like they're inaudible. They're absolutely inaudible. By the way, they spin a lot faster than how it looks on video. They already generate quite a bit of airflow. Let's see. I don't think this is full speed, to be honest. But they are relatively slow. They're like 1,500 RPM. So it's like really like a slow but like steady airflow. And that should be decent. Yeah, I actually feel it here on the sides. Like I feel airflow here, I feel airflow here. So this is plenty cooling, I think. Uh, Change steppers for the fan clearance. Oh my god, you are onto something. I hope that works. Otherwise, we need to get different heat sinks for the steppers. Because the steppers were like an afterthought. Because you just mentioned, Mr. DSI, that like you had a lot of success with the 5160s. So I also wanted to because I have them here, wanted to see if this is something I can replicate. See how I can for this. Loki settled on his cat tree, so that's good for us. Let's see. So let's jump into the web interface. And configure those. Oh, printer not ready? What happened there? So it takes another second. So we didn't change anything except plugging in a fan. Interesting. Oh, hi there, Patsimir. I totally missed you. Let's see. But in the meantime, well, this Clipper config reference. Now we want fan, controller fan. Um, exactly, and we have the tacho pin. But I also think there is something for the PWM. Because now we have 4 pins, we should configure 3, technically. Or potentially it's just like always on 12 volt and like the pin is the... We need to check the pin out here also. I think I closed that, right? Let me open this one again. Alright, let me quickly restart the machine. I printed just before the stream, so I don't see what could have caused some CAN issues now. Otherwise, we have to deep dive into that. Exactly. So we have ground, VF6, PC15, PV9. So there are 3 pins we can control. We need to see like how we can configure it here. Here, 4-pin CNC fan. So we have the wiring, that's nice. But how do we configure it in Clipper? Did I accidentally? Oh, I see what happened. The canvas cable here flew out. Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, let me quickly shut this down. We look at the canvas cable. I see what happened there. You can see here. The cable, the pin here is not quite in. Well, that explains a lot. No clue when this happened or how this happened. Because like this is not my connector. This is still the original. Oh no, wait, it's a lie. I reclaimed that. So there we go. Now it should work. Okay. Then let's quickly check Clipper configure 4-pin fan. How do we do that? Can I do something for us? Yeah, so Gemini says we need to configure the pin that controls the PWM, which would be PV8. PV9. PV9. VF6 is just 12 volt separate video jumper. You need to enable pin tachometer PPR2. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Then let's jump in. That is in the MAP. Fan. Controller fan 1. We only have one controller fan now because like they both are connected together. So I will just comment it out. So this is PB9. Oops, no, I lost it. Can you go there? So this is PB9. Then the tach pin. Let me quickly check the tachometer pin. You know that this is why you can't trust AI. It already gave you the wrong thing. Tachometer pin. Then the PPR is 2 according to Mr. Design. And the tachometer pin should be PC15. Oops, that's the wrong one. We want this here. Max power is 1. Kickstart time, let's see, fan speed. I think we can set this up to just to 1 for now. Let's see what it does. PV9 is used multiple times, okay? So we have it. Oh, this can't be right then. Huh? Well, it clearly says PV9. Oh, but this is the M8. This is the version 1. This is the wrong board. It's the wrong board. We have the M8P version 2.0. Well, pin out. No, I don't see a pinout diagram. Here. It's only half loaded. Oh, because it's large. Okay, like it's still loading here. Yay, we made it. So we look at fan 6. This is PA2 and PC1. Oops, that's the wrong one. Next. PA2 and PC1. Save restart. Aha, controller fan 1. Has 600 RPM at 0%, so it doesn't turn off, which is fine, I guess. Let me just quickly for testing, not configure it as a controller fan, but as a fan generic. Then we have a slider and we can play around with it. Like a fan generic, like this one here. So we say fan generic, and then that should be already all the changes we need. Oh, fan speed is not allowed. Okay. Oops. Fan speed. Save restart. Now you see the speed picking up here, so it works perfectly. Now there's like a very slight, like it's a very, very pleasant sound compared to those ones. And they push a lot of air. Like there's more air flowing out here A lot more air flowing out than with the small ones. So this is a definitely like a big boost for like cooling performance. And it's like a very pleasant sound. It's like a gaming PC, like a nice silent gaming PC. Perfect. But yeah, like a mesh here would be perfect. Potentially I can also print something. But I wanted to have one of these like very fine-grained meshes that you have like as fans, before fans. Just like that you don't suck in as much dust. Well, these are gaming PC fans. Yes, these are fans that are used for water cooling. I still have like I have 340 millimeters still, and I think four more of these 120s. I have a lot of these fans, and they're not cheap. So these are um, Black Silent Pro, these ones. So that's the 80 millimeter version, but like I have the 120 is exactly the one that's in there. So these are definitely not cheap fans. They're like comparable to Noctuas from noise performance. This one is exactly the model, I think. Oh, this is a 3-pin, but yeah, it's a nice fan. And they have very high static pressure. So the thing with fans is like you can measure them with like the volume they like push through, and the second metric is like how much pressure they can create. And for water cooling, where you mount the fans directly against the radiator, static pressure is very important so that the fan can like push air through the radiator, which has a lot of resistance. And it's generally also like very nice here because like there's a lot of cables and stuff like under the deck, and also like a lot of restrictions basically. So fans with high static pressure can just like push the air, force the air through. You're going to need mesh now to stop cat hairs being pulled in. Yeah, technically yes, but he doesn't lose like a lot of hair. Like, okay, my t-shirt right now has a bit of hair on it because he was laying there, but like I don't find like a lot of hair around the apartment. Like it's really negligible. Negligible? Yeah. Like really not a big deal with him. I also have gray floors, which might mask the gray hairs. Yet is a good keyword. But yeah, the mesh here will definitely be good. That's definitely on my list. Cool. I would say these fans are ticked off. Let's quickly look at the toolhead. Small cats turn big. Yeah. He was downstairs like as a play date with the neighbor's cat, and the neighbor's cat is like 9 kilograms, and he's like 2. It's like it looked like super funny with the two like chasing each other. Cool. Toolhead. Let me turn it off. Let me switch this back to controller fan and then turn it off. Because otherwise I forget that. And then the fan speed 1 is definitely fine. It's a bit sad that they don't stop at like PWM 0. But yeah, not a big deal. The machine, I configured everything so the machine, if it doesn't print for half an hour, it turns off automatically. It doesn't print and doesn't draw any power, so if it's idle. Cool. Let's turn this off. And then I would say like just, let's flip it over again. Yeah, it's a bit annoying that like, so it's really just like the edge here. Looking at this now, you know what? I can also reprint this part without the corner, of course, but tiny bit. We do need to replace the VHP tape though. This is not really sticky anymore. This is the good M VHP tape made by AliExpress. Also true. We can as well do the drivers, but I think you were onto something there, and the driver update might be a very short and quick affair. I also did not get them. Where did I put them? In which of these fun boxes are they? Here they are. 5160, and I think it's the same height. So I have 4. So only Z gets the treatment. Which is a bit of a waste to have the good steppers on the Z. This one is a 48-volt power supply. So at some point, let's just kill it. At some point, the idea is to have this one here, so we have to move the board a tiny bit down, and then like this just fits in here on the end. That's also why I wanted to have the fans like extremely far to this side, because this kind of like goes here, and then like it just clears the fan here. And then let's see. So initially the idea was to use this for Z with the stealth changer, but I think the stealth changer with that cabinet here is out of the cards. So yeah, potentially we don't do 48 volts on Z. Speaking of, we need to quickly figure out which of these is Z. I think it's the first 4. I'm fairly certain it's the first 4. But before I do all of them, let's just quickly check if we have a clearance issue here. We just might. We just might. They're like a millimeter taller. Okay, it just works. Like the bottom of the fan now sits on the heatsink, but like there's no pressure or something. Like it sits nicely, but it just fits. Okay. We also need to change the jumpers here, of course. Which we should do before installing the steppers. Because I think now we need to put all 4 jumpers, if I remember that correctly. Stepper, Team C, SPI. Yeah, exactly. We need to set all 4. For now, we set all 4. So I made a configuration for this machine, like a guide. That was not precise enough, seemingly. Repositories. Voron 2.4. And then I have a build guide as PDF. Let's quickly load that. Let me quickly open it because I have the wiring there. I have the wiring layout there. So if you build this machine, I have the link in the description as well. I think, I hope. Motor 3. So this is the Z3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's first 4, so we have the right ones. We have the right one. So let's jumper this up. Okay. Then I might just order 2 more for X and Y, just to make the set complete. But they're actually not super cheap. They're like, so one of these TMC 5160s is like 15 euros. So it's not a cheap stepper driver. It's basically like 8 of these stepper drivers gives you like an entry-level printer. Here we go. Let me quickly pack up the old ones. By the way, do you hear my neighbors drilling holes? Like somebody's like drilling like crazy the entire time. Okay, that's it. let's configure that. But let's also flip that already over. There's a random T-nut flying around here. I noticed that before. Did I put all the steppers on jumper stepper 3? Well, we will find out in a second. I think so. Nope, I did not. I did not. I somehow completely skipped this stepper. Thanks for paying attention, Steve. We would have had some issues in a second. Okay. And now it's complete. Yeah. Well, you know, with like magnetic bottom panels, it's like barely a problem. It's so nice. Like I love these bottom panels. Up. Here's the on switch. Okay, let's configure that. 5160. Let's also quickly check here. Here. So obviously Clipper will not start now because it's can't connect to the steppers. So M8P, then stepper Z. So the pins should stay the same. What changes is this one here. So this is obviously now a TMC 5160. And I think we need to set the CS pin. I think that's now called the CS pin, which was before the UART pin. The rest we can keep the same for now. Technically should be it. Is there a config? BTT M8P GitHub. Firmware config 2130. Yeah, CS pin. The pins should be the same, I assume. PC13, let's just check if one is PC13. We are correct. Oh yeah, PC13, yeah. So that's correct. So we also need to set these pins. SPI software MOSI pin. Okay. So my motors are a bit mixed up compared to this. So the one with PC13 gets these pins. Then we need a motor with PE3. It's this one here. I'm not sure if we need a diag pin or not. This is this one here. Let's just add that. Then the one with PB8. Oops, that's the wrong, not PB8, PB9. So this is this one here. Diag pin is to sensor swarming. Okay, well then we don't need that. That's true. Like diag is to sensor swarming. Camera armor stable? What do you say? No, don't. Not this plant, please. I removed all the toxic plants except this one there where he can't really reach. It's not technically toxic. It's not like really fun for him to eat, and I don't want him to find out the hard way. And he's like a plant chewing monster. Like any plant that is in reach will be chewed. Then this one here, PB5. And that's the last one. I always press escape to remove the selection, and like that prompts me with that thing. Do you also speak English, Kat? I'm very inconsistent with that. Sometimes it's. Did I not like a second ago say you should not eat that? No? Like, so these plants, I learned a lot of plants now because of them. That's pothos, and they contain calcium crystals, calcium oxide crystals, something. And basically they are irritating for your mouth. So if you eat this, like your mouth starts bleeding after a while. So it's not very like nice. It's not toxic, but yeah, it can lead to puking and stuff. Yeah, you now found a new toy. Perfect. Perfect. Cool. Ah, amazing. Where were we? So I think that was it, right? We updated all the steps. Let's save and restart. And yes, so do I speak English to Cat? Sometimes English, sometimes German. Like I speak English most of the day because my work is English. So I'm like sometimes my brain is in English mode, and then like we talk English, and sometimes we talk German. UART pin, TMC step reset one. Oh, we forgot to change it to TMC 5160. Oh, I did not change this. This one is not this one and this one. You wake up like a minute ago and you already make like chaos. Let's start with stepper Bus? Yeah, you don't like that. Stepper. No, no, no. You are in exploring mode? Okay. Here. Stepper is Stepper Z. So let's just bust that and see what happens. Yeah, it's buzzing. Perfect. Let's just do that for all three. So at the moment you see the one on the back buzzing. No, it's this one. I'm sure you can really see that on camera, but no, it's the front one. Where are we? This one. So all four are operational. So I would say let's home and give it a shot. Is it more silent? I don't think so. I think it's louder than before. um, let's see what we can do there. So we have 60 microsteps at the moment. Let's just up that to 128. How many micro steps do you use, Mr. The DSI? I see a route planning to the plant. Route planning happening. So I'm not sure if this was like an improvement. Best case sounds the same to me. Not sure what we can do here to improve stuff. So we already have interpolate true, we have stealth chop on. The auto-tune TMC plugin tunes for silent already, so I think that's kind of like it. Stepper Z doesn't have the micro steps that it does here. So that should be it. Ah. I think 32. But I think like more microsteps is more silent. I remember that, right? I didn't get weird noises before it idle. Like that was quite okay for me. Like the weird noises, by the way, you can also get rid of if you set stealth chop threshold to 1. I assume you didn't use stealth chop for your steppers, right? Because you have like insane speeds on that. Now 32 is louder. So I think I'll do 128. Yes, I think it's better, but like not like a drastic improvement. Two. This one I'm missing. Yours is set for performance. Then you can get rid of the weird noise when it's not moving by setting stealth chop threshold to 1. That basically sets stealth chop when you are not moving. So when it's only holding, it's in stealth chop, and when it's moving, it's not in stealth chop. That works quite well. Usually you shouldn't set the stealth chop threshold to anything but 0 and the 999,000. Because then you get like the change between stealth chop and not stealth chop while you're moving, and it causes a bit of issues. But if you set it to 1, that from my experience works pretty well. Because you don't have to change off stealth chop to spread cycle while you're moving. You lose precision with stealth chop 1? Well, I didn't know that. I didn't notice. Okay. I think, yeah, I mean, I didn't bring any improvement, but I would count it as success. Let's look at the Toolhead fans quickly. Can you let us do that? Or do you need entertainment? Let's shut this down. Switching between two. Yeah, like the thing is like generally yes, but from what I experienced and from what I heard, like when I made the decision to do that, if you set it to 1, it's okay. That's like the only valid setting basically between 0 and 999,000. Because then basically it only changes when it starts to move. It doesn't do it while it's moving. Mm. Give me like 1 second. I will give him some food and he will also be happy for like another 15 minutes. 1 second. Happy cat. So, yeah, I think the thing is like he's like super young still and he needs lots of attention. Um, that will be for next like 3 to 6 months, and then I think he will already like be a lot more chill. Yeah, except for the Z movement, like the machine is extremely quiet. Like the only thing that was like audible was the controller fans, which we definitely solved now. And the Z movement, but the Z movement is less a problem during the print because like you don't have like a lot of Z movement, except you built a tool changer. So for now, I'm good. And for the tool changer project, we will then need to see what we do because like like it's my living room, and when I have a long print, I don't want to be like bothered by the noise of the printer the entire time. So like silence is a little bit like more like important for me. Hi there, Rush. Welcome. Need to go to work? Hope it will work flawlessly. Of course it will not. If anything, I can guarantee that nothing works flawlessly here. Okay. Let's just start with taking it apart. That's LED. Okay, so from this breakout board, we have one 4-pin fan here and two single fans here. These two run on the same voltage, and you can set the voltage separately for this one, which I think we are now on 112 and 124 volts. So these are the fans. And then again, the idea is basically to mix and match a bit. So let's also quickly check the pin out here before we do that. But the idea is basically have the PWM of the part cooling fan on the 4-pin, but then the tacho signal of this one. But yeah, I guess we can already start removing them. So the main reason why I removed this one is I had a couple of people telling me that they had trouble with this fan. Mr. DSI, who just left, had quite a bad experience with that. And this one basically will just allow Clipper to automatically detect when something goes wrong. So just quickly put this in here. And we can figure out how long the cable needs to be. It wants to go in. Here we go. Perfect. So this goes here, of course, and then this we can route here. So we have a little bit of like wiggle room here. Let's just go with something like this. Then we have a little bit of wiggle room like for cable to short and a little bit of wiggle room for cable to long. Yeah, it should be good. Good luck getting to the jumper watch for the fans. Oh, it should be fine. Should be fine. We love a challenge, right? And I have the feeling I'm slowly running out of the female DuPont connectors because like half of the ones in the female bucket here are all male. Right, I need 3. No, I hear cat, but I don't see cat. That's always a bad sign. But I got the delivery today and I put a box out and cat does box. Okay. Come on. There's no 3-pin DuPont in here? No. Ah, there's one. Oh, we need a 4-pin. Never mind me. So the first one is ground. That's the wrong orientation. Then the second one is the voltage. And then we have the tachometer. Which needs a bit of help going in. And then basically the fourth pin, just quickly check, is the length okay? I hope so. Yeah, length is good. Perfect. And then the fourth one will be from this one. I really hope this works in config. I think, I don't see why not. But we said we wanted to quickly check that. SP2209 pin out. As always, there are two versions and I used the wrong one by default. This is the wrong one, but it's the right web page, I think. We need the RP2040, which is the new version. Pictures are loading in slowly. No pin out? Very sad. Yeah, it will be fine. It will be fine. Okay, then we need to destroy this one. I hope they will just break where I marked it, but we need to do it the old way. That's what I hoped would happen. Cool. It's a little bit material too much. Too much here. Here we go. Let me quickly see somebody approaching. Let me get rid of all the dirt that could be ingested. Do you see all the naughty thoughts going through his head, figuring out what he can do? Like eating this screw or this screw. Yep, that's what I need. Thank you. Okay, then actually I forgot to take out. We need one more uh, 2 pawns with 2 pins. So basically, the black and white wire, black and red wire will go to one of these. And the blue wire will go to this 2 pawns. So let's just see how we can cut them. So let's just first kind of get rid of this cable. Then these can kind of like go for this to side now. Let's do the dual first. It can be something like this. Yeah, I'm really running low on the female DuPont I have to order. What is there that you want? Oh, this was not a good crimp. Ah, slide it. Slide forward. I mean, it's crimp, but it will not make contact properly. I have to do this again. This cable is a lot thinner than the one from the other one, so it's like very easy for the connector to like slide around. Okay. Then the Not going to comment on that. Let's just say it's on purpose that the red cable is a tad longer than the black one. Both are too long, but it's okay. Then, hey, I need that. Sorry, I need that. Blue is the speed signal, so we don't need that, but we need the white one. And the white one needs to be something like this lengthwise, and then we crimp one more DuPont on that, and then we connect it to this connector here. Well, now the fans are linked, basically. Not sure what to do with the blue cable, to be honest. I think I would just like kind of like keep that here in case I ever want to use that with this fan. Just roll it up here, and that should be fine. Thinking whether I should do something on the end, but yeah, should be fine. This is loose. Oh god. I knocked over a plant. Alright, 1 second. Let me quickly wipe up. Cats. Got a cat to set. It will be fun. Okay, so this hardware-wise is done. The only thing we need to do is changing the voltage for the part cooling fan here. These I will just keep there. Let's also keep that. This needs to go here. What are you eating? What are you eating? Cat, please. Okay. I wonder if you I mean, I can just pop up the panel here. I think it's just easiest for you to look from the top. And I will open that. Okay, then Steve already mentioned this will be quite nasty to get to. There are like very small steppers here, jumpers. Show you a little bit like this. And they will be fun. They're up here. They're like 2 pairs of 6. Fan. Yes. There are 4 rows. God knows what it is now. Bit hard for me to see. Why does this look a bit different for me? Oh, because no, there's like for me there are only 2 pairs of 3, but they show like 4 pairs here, which confuses a bit. Confuse me a bit. Is this the board I have? No, this is the board I have. I'm on the wrong one. Yeah, no. Like this literally happens every single time. But this does not show me. Oh, it does show me. So at the moment, they are in the rightmost position. That's correct. And we see the 4-wire fan is on top here, and this one we need to put to the center. So check. That was the wrong one. The 4-wire stays at 24 volts. And this one goes to the center. Let's see if I can use my fingernail to get this out. I have different tweezers, but I forgot. I used them somewhere else. I didn't put them back to here, so I don't have them right now, which are a lot better for these little like jumpers. So one is in the center. So the bottom one is in the center one, which is the VF fan 1-2. And then we have the 4-wire on the rightmost, which is, oh, you don't see anything. I'm so sorry, I moved the toolhead. The honey badger are 24 volt. The honey badger are 24 volt. Which hopefully you mentioned because I was said something about the 4-wire 12 volt. But there are 24 volt fans. I'm just quickly taking this off just to double check and confirm. I'm really not sure why he's so active. 24 volt. Like usually he's like active for an hour, and then he just sleeps. But every time I'm streaming, he's like running around like crazy, being bored and doing shit. Okay, 12 volt, 12 volt, 24 volt. So this should be it. Let's snap that back on. No, not the 4-wire 12 volt. The Honey Badger is the 4-wire fan. Oh shit, yeah, you're right. I had it correct. I lost the jumper. The 4-wire is 12 volt. I got confused because the Honey Badger Tech uses a 4-wire fan. I got confused because like this is a 4-wire fan, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a 3-wire fan. Like, yeah. The 4-wire port goes here, is 12 volt. We now have that. We now have that. The 24 volt fan is the normal one. Okay. Thank you, Steve. So can you go sleep, please? Can you be tired? Thank you. Can you get this? Don't eat a screw, please. This cat. Okay. That's it. Last check. 12 volt on the 4-wire, which is the Sunon. Yes. Let's close this back up. That is all solidly mounted. Then let's give it a shot. I do need to reach the... Okay, this one is on. Both are on. I'm nearly done with the 2.4 build, but having issues with detecting the cartographer 3D. I never worked with one, so I'm not really able to help there, but I know Steve. Steve said it's his go-to probe, so maybe he has a tip. I do need to have a bit more space here. So, the camera now in front of my face. So technically, I think both should be off right now. They are not. So let's configure some fans here. Then the hot end fan. Let's quickly check for like a config. We need the RP2040. And mm, 4-wire fan. So let's do this one here. So GPIO 13 now instead of 15 now. And the wait, this is this one is the correct one. Let's do this one first. Okay. Did you plan that or did you just like fall through? GPIO 15 used multiple times. Fair point. Let's check. Here. And the hot end fan is GPIO 14. 12 used multiple times. Ah, we're getting there. Oh, because I put now the tachometer on both, but that's not correct. So this one, I need a pin out. Like, this is stupid. I assume this one, this one is the PWM. 15 is the PWM. The problem is this one here, I think is now always on. Because I think how we wired it up now, the hot end fan is on 24 volt. Let's just see if we can make this work first, like this. So we should see a speed from the bottom one, but we should control the top one. We do see hot end fan has 6,000 RPM, so that works. Now we need to figure out why fan that does something. It like 100 is slower than 0. um, do you have any smart ideas? Uh, let's see. Because at the very least, I would expect that the top one is off. Mm. Mm. Bit confused now. Because like, I mean, I'm not sure why the top one is running. The bottom one I kind of understand, the top one I don't get. Uh, I'm really annoyed that I don't have a pin out. I'm deadly annoyed that I don't have a good pin out. Like, this is what I need, but like for this board, this is not what I need. Okay. The problem is like here it's not very clear which pins go where. I mean, this one is just voltage, I think. But it doesn't clearly say like which pins to use to control the fan. Can you be okay for like another half hour, please? Um, so we have pin 12 for tachometer, which works, which is down here. So we have 13, 14, 16, 13, 14, 15, 16, 12. Okay. Is there a pin out of the breakout board? The problem is it's not really clear what goes where. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GPIO pins. I guess we have 2 here. RGB 3. Which would mean that fan 1 and 2 needs to be controllable. We plugged it in at fan 2, the top one. But this one clearly should work with the PWM. What do you mean with the pin out is on the SPO1? PA1 or PA? We don't have a PA, right? They're all GPIO. So I'm getting a bit annoyed by the fan noise. Um, oh, yeah, here it says. VFan is GPIO 14. So one is plugged in. I'm just really confused why the PWM signal doesn't work. Because like if I set this to 0, it should be 0, and it's not. And then the other problem is that the bottom fan we cannot turn off at all at the moment because we plugged it in at VFan. But VFan is just voltage. It's like whatever you put here. So I don't think that setup works. Because like fan 1 and fan 2, we cannot individually set. Like fan 1 and 2 have the same voltage. So we can't. Yeah, okay, I know what to do. We need to swap some pins. We need to swap some pins. So we need to put the we need to put the part cooling fan on fan 2, and we need to move the 24 volt of the, sorry, we need to put the hot end fan on fan 1 or 2. Oh yes, he sleeps. Yes, yes, yes. He went into his sleeping spot. That's good. So we need to put the hot end fan on fan 1 or 2 at 24 volts. And we need to put the top fan on the, so you kind of did it the wrong way around. We should have put all the, let's see if we can fix that. Oops. Are you coming off? Okay, so the problem is that this one is fixed 24 volt. So this one needs to go here. And this one needs to go here. So we need to swap the two red ones. That's completely overcrossed with the two fans, but that is what it is. Here we go. One. So then basically we need to also swap the jumpers. Very interesting setup now. So all the fans are just like overcrossed. The red wire here is long enough to just pass it. Yes. Okay, it's not all over cross, but it should work. So that means, looking at the pinout, that the bottom fan now is controlled via fan 1. So the bottom fan is GPL 14, and the part cooling fan is controlled via GPL 15. Let's put that in and then change the jumpers. For some reason, this screw doesn't quite slide in all the way to the back. I might need to drill out that hole there a bit. And I remember we had some problems with the hole dimensions on the printer parts here, and I think that's like another instance of that. Okay. Not a fun jumper session. At least I'm getting better at that. Second attempt. I'm still thinking that the PWM on the top one will not work, which would be a big problem. Yeah, both are on. What did we now say? One is 14, one is 15. 14 is the part cooling fan, and 15 is the hot. Sorry, 14 is the hot end fan, 15 is the part cooling fan. 14 hot end, 15 part cooling. Hot end fan. I just said it, I've worded 14. 15 part cooling fan. So it should be correct. It's clearly not working. Because the hot end fan should be 0%. It's not. Like, this makes no sense. Like, this is spinning full term. This is also spinning. But this one should be, it's 0. It's a very simple setup now for the bottom fan, right? It's just on GPIO 14. I don't understand why it is on. Let's make this a generic fan. Oh, wow. It definitely can do more. Oh, but this is the top one. This is the top one for sure. What the fuck? What's going on here? So the fan generic now, what we have on GPIO 14. But this can't be. This is where we plugged in this one. Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Let's unplug one fan. Let's try to make one work and then let's see. Okay. No, we can't even unplug one because both are like overcross. Fun. It makes no sense. The bottom one is very simple. Power here, ground here. It's overcross. Which is the problem? Potential, yeah, because this one is the pin we are connecting. Okay, we need to swap the ground ones. Which will not work, potentially, because the cable is too short. Let's see. The problem is that the what we control is on the ground. It's not on the 24-volt side. Can you come out there? Okay, that will be fun because this one is already quite short. Oops, sorry, I forgot to switch over. I forgot to show you. So I mean, it works. Also works. Okay, so these two are not together, and these two are together. I think what happens is that we are switching on the ground side, and not on the 20 like that switched on the ground side, not on 24-volt side. I will not screw this in now. I'll just put it on. And let's also actually do what I said we would do. Let's unplug this one. Let's focus on the part cooling fan. So this is hanging there. Let's focus on the part cooling fan. Which now runs full tilt. Let me also put that panel back. Okay. Let's also make this a fan generic for now. And we double confirm this one should be on the PWM pin, which is GPO 15. So I can already tell you this is not working. And generic fan. Yeah, the PWM has no effect here on that. Because like technically, like at the moment, PWM signal is off, so it doesn't get any PWM and it still runs at full tilt. So I have very low hope to get this to work, to be honest, with the config. Mm, okay. Hmm. Yeah, not sure. Because there's a lot of configuration you can do with the PWM that like, because off is off. Like usually like if PWM doesn't work, it's like somewhere in this range, you know, like 0, 0, 0 is off, 100 is on. Usually you have problems in this range, but like I never had that like it's not working at all. This is the one I have. Yeah, not sure. Let's quickly try the other fan. But the problem is if we can't use the PWM on the top one, we cannot use the bottom one. Because we, so basically, we only can have two different voltages if one of them is controlled by the PWM signal. But at the moment, that is not the case. So let's see. Okay, so I unplugged this one. I can just leave it behind here. And then the bottom one, the hot end fan, we should now be able to control. And it stays off, which is quite a good sign. Let's see. But I think the problem is that the top one doesn't react to PWM. Also, just double check, this should now be fan 1, which is GPIO 14. Let's double check quickly in the config that we have 14 set there. Come on, you can do it. So in the config, it is 14 and the tachometer pin is 12. Okay, but 12 is not plugged in at the moment. So the hot end fan is now 0. And this one we now can control. I mean, usually you wouldn't have it at any other value than 100. And this doesn't work super well, but like perfect. So this one is not a problem. Again, like the RPM now is 0 because we didn't plug it in. But it means that the top one doesn't react to PWM at all. So that's something we need to check. But to be honest, like my brain is a bit fried and I'm quite hungry. So I would just call it quits now. I'll do some research what's up there. I don't think it's a configuration issue because there's nothing to configure. Like if it's 0 PWM signal, the fan should be off, or at least like, it should react in some way to PWM changes, and ours did not do that at all. What you could do is like we can try the hardware PWM quickly. Nah, it shouldn't be an issue. Let's quickly try the hardware PWM to see if that makes a difference. If not, a bit of an issue. Then I think tomorrow I have to remove both fans and put the old ones back in. Because yeah, I can't switch only the top one. That only works in a pair. Man, this fan is so loud. So basically the plan also was like make the machine quieter, right? This one is super loud, but I don't plan to run it on at full tilt at all. But sometimes if you have ABS bridging, it's nice to have the option. Hi there, Zakaria. Greetings from the Netherlands. Let's see. So yeah, this is basically what I quickly want to try the hardware PWM. I have low hopes, but might be doing something. We then we have at the moment fan generic park fan. Let's set that to true. But as mentioned, like it's very unlikely that this works because like yeah, 0 with hardware PWM is 0 with software as well. Part. Yeah. There's no reaction at all. It's just 100 all the time. We can control the hot and fan. Now you also see the RPM picking up here. Oh wait, sorry. We see it picking up here. Wrong one. Oh, you see here the RPM going up. So this works. This is like just like very nice for safety because now Clipper's aware when the fan is broken. And then the controller fan also like doing a thing there, slowly rotating. So it's all nice, but the park cooling fan is a real showstopper. Cool. Yeah, then I would call it quits for today. Bit of a shame. Like I don't know what the problem is with the PWM there. Might be something with the fan, might be something with the board. I saw somebody like soldering like in one of these like Reddit posts, soldering like a resistor to the back of that board. Not sure, but yeah, let's see. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll post the update in the comments if I figure out what the fan problem is here. See you next week. Bye.